here comes Molly.
What's that?
She's getting the phone to Daniel. So I think for me, sorry, Molly's in the background giving the phone to Daniel. The filming content, so we've got something like after a kids. Go.
No, I can't concentrate when he's laughing away.
Yeah. Business wise.
Right, you take.
Real life, innit?
This is everything HYROX training, HYROX in home life, and everything to do with what it takes to run our Cassells HQ here in Glasgow. So yeah, let's go.
It's a real day today. We've got Callan, as Natalie said, but we've also got Molly and Harper down there, and we've got like a wee creche bit in the gym, and they're down there just now, being okay just now. But we'll see how long we go.
I know.
Before they crack up. It's been trying to film this for a while, haven't we? Today.
Well, come on, tell us, how are you feeling, Mr. Cassells?
I'm feeling stressed at my box. If I'm honest, I have had. It's actually been on a night day. Like this morning, Natalie didn't get a chance to go to the gym yesterday, so I wasn't working this morning. So Natalie went to the gym this morning. So it was my kind of job to get the kids ready and that, which is fine. Then I also wanted to walk the dog because we've got a dog. We've got a black lab, Kaya, and then I feel terrible if it's a day and it's a decent enough day, which we don't really get here. It's decent enough today, and I wanted to take her a walk, and I did, and it was probably the wrong move because then I was running late, I was running behind, we didn't.
Oh, and by the way, you are the worst person to be running late for anything.
Yeah, agreed. I don't like the feeling of, if I'm not 10 minutes early, I'm 10 minutes late. That's the way I kind of see it. At least 10 minutes, to be fair. I hate it. It just sets me off the full day. So,
whereas I'm late all the time.
To the point where Harper will actually tell me we're always late for things.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about that.
That was a couple of weeks ago. I was driving Harper to nursery, and there's Molly. A couple of weeks ago, I was driving Harper to nursery, and we got to this certain bit on the way to nursery. It's like you go under a bridge, and I had Harper and Molly in the car. I think you must have came to the gym with Callan early, and Harper just out of completely nowhere just went, and I was like, "What's wrong with you, darling?" And she's like, "Why are we always late?" And I was like, "What?" Because it just came out of nowhere. And I said, "What are you talking about? We're always late." Like, we're not late at all. She's like, "Well, when Mummy takes us anywhere, we're always late because she always does other things." So
now, this is the thing. So I've always lived my life. Like, I think I remember someone telling me years ago, if you're someone who is always late, you're probably always late because you're a serial multitasker. So I totally resonate with that.
Yeah.
Like, completely resonate with that. Like, if I can get sneak a wee extra wash load in and load up the dishwasher before we leave the house, like, I'm gonna do that. But then it always makes me 5-10 minutes late, always, and I just cannot help myself. And then I sit in the car and I'm like, oh my god, we're late, but it's too late by that point to stress about it. That's the situation.
I think the thing is, though, you know you're going to be late, so you just go, "Ah, fuck it, I'm just going to do it anyway." Because it's like, I remember one time you were meant to be taking Harper to dancing, and the dancing's only about 10 minutes away from the house, to be fair. But it was like 10 minutes to go to get there until it started, and I was like, "Natalie, you've got 10 minutes until dancing starts." And she's like, "Oh, it was a show, remember? She had a wee show."
Yeah.
Right, so I'm stressed at my box, right? It's the first time I've actually like went to the dancing with Harper and stuff like that, and it's like a wee show. So I'm like of the opinion that the show starts when it says it's going to start. And I'm like, "Natalie, I've got 10 minutes until that show starts." And she's like, yeah, that's fine, just get the kids in the car. So I'm out there putting the kids in the car, and I'm like, right, okay. So I packed the kids in the car, and I'm like, looking at my time, I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? Like, why is it taking so long? And I came in, you're doing the washing.
I know, but everyone will resonate with me, right? See, when you do a load of washing and then you're about to leave the house and then you're like, oh my God, I didn't take it out the washing machine.
No, but I
You
think
realize,
I don't think you were doing that. I think you were just starting the washing.
no, well, you know, you realize that when you leave the house, if you leave a load of washing in the washing machine, it's going to be stinking, like absolutely stinking. You're going to have to wash it again. It's just more hassle. So just unload it, shove it in the tumble dryer and then run out the door. But it's fine.
And be late.
But this is the thing. So like, so I said to Harper, and I say this to her all the time. I'm like, she must have copied me from the day before, because the day before I went, why are we always late? They just copy everything that we say that we do, and it's so funny, like that she did that. Because then I said to Harper, what did you say to Daddy about Mummy? And she went, she didn't want to tell me.
What was the same that same morning? I got my camera, my phone out to record her saying it, and she just wouldn't do it. She bottled it. So, but it did happen. And I believe, like, you can believe it. If anybody knows Natalie, you can believe that story happened.
To be fair, that's my New Year's resolution, is as the kids get older, I'm trying to be more and more on time. That sounds gorgeous, right?
It's not worked yet.
There's been a couple.
So Natalie came to the gym this morning for the 9:30 session. Were you on time for the 9:30 session as well?
I got here for the first round.
So there you go. That answers that. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying. I am trying.
Right, it's funny, right? Because so HYROX is coming to Glasgow, and it's a major this time coming to Glasgow. And originally you didn't have to buy a ticket. Your athlete's ticket or your athlete band would get you in.
For the Elite 15 race.
For the Elite 15 race. Now all of a sudden they've changed it where you need to buy the ticket. Fine. But then Puma have done a thing where originally it was meant to be if you do the shakeout run with them, you get access to the Elite 15 thing.
Yeah.
Now it's the first 100 participants. And Natalie, just before we go on camera here, I said to her, we need to sort the tickets for Elite 15. And Natalie said, no, why? Because the first 100 participants get free access. And I'm like, there is no chance in hell we are going to be one of the first 100. I'm telling you now, Natalie, there is no chance in hell.
Watch me.
Okay. I'll believe in this, yeah. I believe in this. Alright, you save yourself 20 quid.
Put 20 quid on it. Yeah. That'll be our dinner that night.
So we'll see how that goes.
So now that we're on the topic of HYROX, so we chat about HYROX and what's been going on, because obviously Glasgow, we're 7 days out.
Yeah.
This time next week we'll be racing.
Well, you will.
I don't know my time yet. So, yeah, but let's just chat about that.
Running about racing, innit?
What about the prep time? How do you feel that's gone?
Prep for this one, for me personally, I feel alright, but I don't feel as if I'm prepped as much as I was for Manchester. I feel like the first couple of weeks after Manchester, I just lost my head a wee bit, and I just couldn't be arsed, if I'm honest with you. But I think I'm reining it back in. My fitness is still there. Here comes Molly.
What's that?
She's getting the phone to Daniel. So I think for me, sorry, Molly's in the background giving the phone to Daniel, who's filming content. So we've got somebody looking after our kids. Yes, I think for me, after Manchester, my head was down a wee bit because I didn't get the time I wanted. I ran an extra lap and stuff like that. So my whole mindset towards training and stuff like that, I just couldn't be bothered. I put in a lot of work in the lead up to Manchester, didn't get what I wanted out of it, and it was like a learning curve where I had to just kind of go on it. You're never going to have, it's not always going to be a perfect race, a PB every time. You just need to keep chipping away at it. So I feel like, to be fair, the last couple of weeks, my fitness has came on a bit again, and I've been hitting some big sessions, and I feel good. I feel the way I normally feel going into a race now. I feel so relaxed going into a race now. I know what to expect. I know I'm not going to end up in hospital again. So I know what to expect. And this, I don't know, I think it's because it's Glasgow, it's home turf, it's different. There's no stress and pressure about like packing for going away and like all that kind of stuff, like the flight, and I mean airports creep me out, man. And then we're lucky enough at, well, all go well, we should have childcare for this one, so I think that makes a difference as well. And then yeah, I think just being in Glasgow, I think 4 days, 5 days.
It's a 4-day event. 4 days, 5 days, including the Elite 15 on the Wednesday. So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Aye, 4
I think
days.
it's going to be a really good week. I'm actually looking forward to it. And a lot of the boys that I'm racing with, well, I could potentially be racing with if they're in the same heat as me, it's all boys I know. So I think it is going to be a really, really good race. Like, just buzzing for it, like, just the excitement of racing with people you know. Whereas normally you go into these things and it's like, maybe know 1 or 2 people. But how are you feeling?
Well, it's my first solo HYROX. My first solo HYROX Pro. And I don't know.
Nervous laugh.
I was like, for the first few weeks there after Manchester, I really struggled as well as you, just to get back into the routine of training. A lot of things have been going on as well, like kids just keep on getting ill, like just life admin is just hectic. Like between the two of us, we've got a lot going on in the gym, so it's just been quite a lot to kind of manage, and then on top of trying to squeeze in your training. It's only been the past couple of weeks, much like you as well, where I've been consistent at least 5 or 6 times a week. So, you know, how amazing it is though to be able to say that we can train 5 or 6 times a week. I suppose I'm just really grateful that I can do that. I also, my back got really, really stiff after Manchester.
Yeah, that's right.
I had quite bad sciatica when postpartum with Molly. I tried everything I can this time to try and avoid it, but I think just, you know, like, and I could share a picture about how bad my alignment was in my back.
Yeah, the best way I can describe it, right, without Natalie showing a picture, is she came into me one day and said, am I standing straight? And if you ever listen to the film White Chicks, when she goes in to get changed and she puts on these clothes and they're massively like too tight for her, where she's like standing like that. That was Natalie. So you can imagine when she's like that to me, am I standing straight? And I'm like, yeah, of course, sure. So that's the best way I can describe it. It's the only way I can describe it, because you die.
I wasn't good.
You certainly on the straight. So.
That was so funny. But then, like, it's definitely eased off a bit since. So what did I do for recovery wise? So I went for a sports massage. I went for a massage, and then I totally cut out training for a couple of weeks. But then, see, when you don't train, oh my God, your mindset is just absolutely in the gutter. Like for me, I was sitting at home with the kids, and I was like, oh my God, I've got to do this on my own, this pro on my own, and what if I don't get back in the gym to train, and you know, what is it all for? Basically, you do kind of go down that kind of rabbit hole of worrying about everything. And I'm just, the past couple of weeks training has definitely given me a bit more confidence. But
on the other flip side of that though, like if you are like someone who's injured, like, so for example, if you look at what Natalie's went through there, like I actually think on the flip side, that's actually a more positive side. Like you saying like, oh, what am I going to do like if I'm going solo and stuff like that, and I've not been able to train and stuff like that. I actually think that's better than doing a doubles with somebody if you feel like that. Like in my opinion, because it'd be like you wouldn't want to let that person out, or you'd be running their race essentially. Whereas I think if you doing a solo,
I can take it at my own pace now.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a challenge, obviously. Like as in you've done doubles and stuff like that, it'll be like a kind of challenge because you need to do all the elements on your own now. But at the same time, you can go at your own level, you can go at your own pace. So if there is something you know, your back niggles or it flares up a wee bit, then you do have that time and the ability to go, right, take a couple of seconds and then I'll move on again. Whereas if you're doing it with a doubles, you wouldn't want to let that person down. So you would essentially be running their race.
Yeah.
Where they might have been training constantly, they might have been like getting quicker and stuff like that. You're then running their race and try to keep up over anything else. So
is it? So what are your top tips for dealing with injury preparation for any kind of challenge? But I suppose in relation to HYROX, because I have labelled it ankle gait, but it's just another. I suppose this is the thing, when you're training consistently, you're going to come up with niggles and like all the time. Yeah. And I like to think I'm really supportive and really empathetic, which I am in most circumstances.
Maybe the clients, but certainly not to me. I mean, let's be realistic here. So
let's get in touch. Your ankle, Kate.
Yeah, I think
What happened? Let's talk about what happened to the ankle first, because it's not as...
So I mean that's coming up for 2 weeks now. So basically, my training has been going well and stuff like that, and everything's been good, like has been. And then 2 Fridays ago, well, this Friday coming, so this is Thursday, so it'll be tomorrow actually. So it will be 2 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, I was in here doing deadlifts, and Dean, one of the coaches that works in Cassells Fitness, shouted me to get my attention. As I turned round, I've done this time and time again, right? Like, it's the stupidest thing, but the edge of the barbell, I've basically just scuffed my ankle off it. And it was so, like, you know, you go, oh, fuck, because you didn't expect it. But I didn't think anything of it. And then I went on and trained, felt all right, felt brand new. And then later on that night, I was like, my ankle's actually quite sore. And it was swollen. It was.
It was a wee bit sore.
Yeah, it was swollen and bruised. And ever since then, I've just not been, I don't know, it's just been like a kind of pain going up it and stuff like that. And the next morning I trained and it just felt bruised. That's all I did. It just felt bruised. And I genuinely thought, a couple of days, a wee bit of bruising, it'll go away. It happens. It's nothing major. But as I say, that's 2 weeks now. I've had it and it's still there, still not going away. But I think the good thing for me is, normally that would affect me mentally, because I'd be like, oh, well, you carry on, you carry this. And I have tried it on, to be fair, and I've just tried to look at other options, whereas before I just let that get in my head and be like, that's it, I'm done for, especially so close to a race. But like, I literally I strapped up yesterday, done a run yesterday, and I felt alright yesterday. So yes, it's painful and that, and when I'm walking about and stuff, but as soon as I support it, seems alright.
Yeah, I think the main thing is like, that cliche of like, listen to your body, but it is true. Like, okay, I'm feeling a bit of like inflammation somewhere. My body's trying to tell me something. My body's trying to tell me that, you know, something's maybe not quite right. So let's just listen to that and tune in. And at what level can you continue, and at what level do you kind of stop? And we've kind of talked about this before, like pain levels, and like kind of numbering the pain level from 1 to 10, you know, and that dictating your choices in terms of intensity of training, training adaptations, nutrition. You want to join in today? Nutrition can play a big role in that as well.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, it's like,
I think even just mindset wise though, if you go into it, so like we've got, like, if you look at Glasgow just now, like obviously it was a sellout for HYROX and stuff like that, and it is really, really difficult to get tickets. But you now look at some of these resale sites and stuff like that, and there's like 80 odd tickets, either through people having injuries, can't get time off work, etc. And I think one of our clients in particular had to pull out. She was meant to be doing this female pro, and kind of the way that I tried to structure the mindset, because obviously you work so hard for this race, and sometimes it doesn't go your way in the fact that you need to maybe pull out and stuff like that. But the way I've kind of started envisioning, like before, that would used to break me, like mentally that would break me, because it'd be like, oh, why always me type thing. Like I remember Glasgow last year, remember that thing that happened to my foot last year, where I tripped the bone in my foot. That was only a couple of weeks out from Glasgow as well. I basically fell down a rabbit hole and went over my foot.
Absolutely fell in a rabbit hole.
I had tap on my hands as well, so I chipped the bone in my foot, and that mentally like threw me to the point where even in Glasgow last year, when that was still an issue in my foot, like I went over my ankle in the race, and straight after that I was already beat, because I was like, oh, that's it, like why is this always happening to me? I either hit cramp or end up like flagging or going to hospital, or, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, this happened, like a wee niggle happens just before race, and I burned it too quickly. And I think the best way I can say it is, have a bit of a minute, darling. The best way I kind of tried to say to Ashley about it was, when you're kind of pushing yourself to the, like maybe the extremes, not so much the extremes, but when you're trying to push yourself out to find your true potential, then these wee things are going to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's part and parcel of the game. I think that's the way I see it now, is like these wee things are going to happen, where it is part and parcel of the sport that I'm in now. If I want to take this further and I want to develop in the sport, then wee niggles and injuries are going to happen. So when it comes to injuries and stuff like that, with regards to HYROX or any sport, I find that used to break me personally. Like mentally it used to like play in my head where I'd be like, you know, it's delaying where you want to be. It's you've put in all this hard work and now it's not going to come into fruition. You can't showcase what you've done, and it is frustrating. Like I'm not going to lie, like it is a major frustration, and it does like eat into you mentally, especially because you have put in the physical aspect of like training hard. You've got your mindset right. You know, you've been eating properly and you're seeing the progress coming, and then something like that happens just before a race. But I think the way I kind of tried to explain it to one of our clients who unfortunately had to pull out of Glasgow was, and the way I kind of see it now and the way I make peace with it now, is it's all part and parcel of the game that you play, especially when you're trying to get into a sport and involved in a sport. These things will happen, and the way I kind of see it is they happen because you're basically trying to unlock your true potential. So you're constantly pushing yourself to that limit every time and trying to push beyond it. So naturally something will give every so often, whether that be an ankle injury, whether that be a back injury. You're probably got all some kind of like level of fatigue. You're always going to have these things that will probably come up. I mean, you speak to some physios and some physios actually recommend that if you're training to a level of intensity, you should be going and seeing them like every month or every couple of months. So there must be a reason why they say that. And I think like obviously it's not going to help you at that time. It's not going to make things feel better because you've had to pull out a race that you really wanted to do. But I think it just like helps you make peace with it, that, you know, it is part and parcel of the sport. It is going to happen. It's just unfortunate timing, and it's something that will affect everybody. I don't care who you are, like every single person, every single athlete, every single person that does fitness and tries to get themselves better and be 1% better daily, you are going to experience it at one point. So it's how you deal with that. Are you going to let it fester and let it really get you down and give it the whole why always me mentality? Or are you going to go, right, it happens to everybody. It happened to me because I am pushing myself to find out my true potential and beyond my limits, and I'm trying to set a new bar and I set a new level for me. Do I let that beat me up, or do I go, right, well, I'm moving in the right direction, it's just a learning curve, like how could I potentially avoid that in the future? And that's something that I would look at, like I would actually sit and assess it and go, something I can, like, obviously there's certain things that you can't control, like, so for example, a freak accident you can't control and stuff, but there is ways that you can control fatigue. There is ways you can control maybe a recovery. There is certain things that you can control in terms of, like, if you've had a past injury, a previous injury, how to then stop that flaring up so bad the next time. So things like I'll sit and actually assess it and go, right, what could I do differently for my next race in terms of recovery? Is that an aspect that I've looked at, or is it an aspect that I've neglected because I'm like, well, it takes away from my training? And I think that's what you've got to start looking at.
I think one thing that you said the other day that I thought was really impactful was like, make a goal beyond the goal.
Yeah.
Like if you've had to pull out of this one, but you've actually got something else booked, you know, a few months after that. One of our clients, she's really good at like planning her year of challenges and events. And I think that's a great tool, a great planning tool to put into place for constantly having something to work towards and constantly having something to continue to progress and push yourself towards. So yeah, I think that like there's so much we can take from all these scenarios that are happening at the moment in the lead up to an event, but also so much that we can learn from our clients that kind of
I think the biggest problem is it's like mindset wise and stuff like that. If you are going through something like this, like an injury or like a setback and stuff like that, always try and flip it and try and see a positive in every outcome. I think that's the way I kind of see it now, is like there's a positive in every outcome, because then you can assess where you could potentially look to improve in the future. As I said, sometimes you can't control freak accidents, but you can control how you deal with that action. I think that's the thing for me, is like the way I would look at it going forward. How can I do everything I can and everything in my power to try and avoid that happening again? And then I think as well, it's like I have this mindset now as well, where before, where anything that happened to me, like an injury wise, would instantly, I would have it in my head and go, oh, that's it,
over.
That's it, done. Like I'm done for. Like I'm never going to be able to compete the way I want to compete. Whereas the mindset I've started to train into myself now is, if I can perform to the best of my ability whilst having this niggle or adversity, then what am I truly capable of if I get lucky on the day and everything just goes to plan? Because there's a bit of luck in sport as well, in terms of things like that. And that's the way I kind of see it, is like, I'm going into Glasgow and it's like, yes, you have this wee niggle, but do your best you can with on the day, and just acknowledge and accept that's the best you could do in the day as well. Don't make up excuses and go, oh, it's because of this. No, that's the best you could do in the day, and that's what you done. That's what you delivered. And also seeing it as going, right, I delivered that on the day, having that wee niggle. What could I do if I was lucky on the day and that didn't happen? Then I could, excel.
Yeah, love that. So kind of leading into that then, from going into talking about the business, talking about like the past few months, because obviously we're 2 months into the year, we'd call that like Q4 if you're talking accounting, or Q1 if we're talking about an annual year. But like, we're just about to come up to like nearly 3 months of the new year. So what does, in your opinion, how do you think the past 3 months have gone for us in the business?
I think in terms of business, I think it's been good in the fact that it's been a lot of hard work. I'm not lying, it has been a lot of hard work, but I think it is always going to be hard work. I think it's been good. I think, I'll be honest, it's been hard, but it's always going to be hard. And I think there's times where, in the fitness industry and stuff like that in particular, there's times where it's really busy, and then there's times of a wee bit of quietness, and less noise. And I think like January, February time, March time is always a wee bit busier, so you're always like constantly working, and feel like you're constantly working. But I think in terms of like clients, and even just the mindset of clients just now and stuff like that, it's probably the best I've experienced in terms of where we are right now. Like, normally you get that January where everybody's like so motivated, so driven, but normally that kind of dive bombs, even like the very end of January, like the last months and the weeks in January, it dive bombs. Whereas I feel like, because we have had things like HYROX booked, or we've had like wee challenges and stuff like that, I feel like it's actually been a really good couple of months. So, slide back in.
Literally, this is mad today.
This is real life.
Yeah, this is absolutely real life. And we were saying, like, I'm going to take a wee segue just now, but I said this to you last night. Like, we've been talking a lot about trying to be like better at networking. Like, we're very much in the Cassells Fitness bubble. We network with our clients and our, like, the people that are members in the gym. We network with the services that we use. But wider than that, we just don't get an opportunity to go out and properly network. It's just not something, that we don't want to prioritize. It's just time, isn't it? Like, but then this is the thing that I was like really quite passionate about last night, is that this is what mums used to feel like when they went back to the workplace after having kids, and then all the guys would go down to the pub and network and come up with ideas, and you would go back into the office the next day, and then the mum would have had to go home to do bedtime, or to like take up the mother role at home, and then go back to work the next day, and there might have been decisions made, or discussions had, or connections and networks made, and opportunities for those guys to kind of explore, and the mum would have missed out. And we're kind of in that phase at the moment, the two of us. Like, you and I don't get a chance to go to the run clubs that are all happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is a great opportunity to network and speak to people in the industry. And I think that's one of the biggest gaps, is that
even if we tried to, it'd be one or the other.
Aye, we can't go together as a team. And so it's really frustrating, I suppose, like, because it's not that I'm saying that kids are a burden, and I'm not saying that the kids, like, it's the most incredible thing that we get to do all of this with the kids, but like, this is real life, innit? This is our situation. And some people hate it. Some people hate the kids being at the table, or like how unfiltered we are, or like how imperfect everything is. But it's amazing that we get to share that, but it's also frustrating that we don't get to kind of be in those environments, in those circles as well.
Yeah, but it's just what we need to do. I think we said it in the last podcast as well. It's like, if we weren't to do it now, then when do we do it? Because essentially, I mean, you look at our kids in particular, our kids are really, really young. And if you look at it that way, then you could potentially put your life on hold for 10 to 15 years where we don't do anything at all.
Yeah.
Like, to push forward with things.
Like, could you imagine us rocking up to one of the run clubs in the Glasgow city centre with like you with one running buggy and me with a double running buggy? Just like
that time we done a track session.
Aye, but with all 3 kids.
And we had all 3 kids. It's just absolute carnage. Like,
it is.
Even we go to HYROX. With HYROX, we normally take all 3 kids. And Callan really wants this mic. Yeah. Oh, you're so funny.
I think it's so funny. Like, yeah. So if anybody's listening or watching this, like this is what it's all about, innit? And if you've got kids as well, like, don't leave them at home, or don't get childcare. Just put yourself through the carnage, because actually, like, what comes out of it is that experiences together
being imperfect,
and a bit of stress, definitely. But it's like, how lucky are we, and how lucky are our kids that they get to experience all of this with us, I suppose.
Yeah. As I say, don't put anything on hold. Like, if we did, you could lose a lot.
Exactly. Even this podcast, we could have just absolutely decided this is not for today. Yeah. Like, we have a few things we had to film today. And this is all stuff that's going to help us, like, build the business, build the brand. It's amazing, like, to have this opportunity. But I mean, you should see the carnage that is unfolding behind Daniel.
Yeah,
it is nuts. But anyway, so what were we talking about then? We were talking about business. We were talking about the past 3 months. I suppose for me, one of the biggest things is, like, clients that are coming through the door. Like, it's so funny. I feel like it's been a while where we've had a big cohort of clients come in who are all here for fat loss in particular.
Yeah.
Fat loss. And I was talking about this the other day, like, stop making him laugh, because he's going to laugh in the background.
Go.
No, I can't concentrate when he's laughing away. Oh God, here we go. Yeah, it's been amazing to welcome a whole bunch of new clients into the gym over the past few months. That's one thing that's quite exciting about the new year. Harper. That we kind of get to bring in a whole bunch of new people. You know, new people always brings new personalities, new new kind of, it changes the culture, it changes the environment a little bit. But I think it's always good. It's always good to bring in, like, different people, different walks of life into the team and embed them within the culture that we've got here at Cassells. And I think, what are you laughing at?
She's yawning as you're talking. That sums it up.
I mean, I'm bored as well now myself.
Nah, I get what you're talking about. I think the thing for me is, like, see, when you bring in new clients and stuff like that, sometimes it's, especially in a gym environment, sometimes it can be a bit intimidating for new people and stuff. But I feel like what is really nice as, like, an owner of the gym is to see people that I've never met before become, like, really good pals. Like, we were only just talking about, like, Stevie this morning, for example, and how he never knew some of the people in here, like Susan,
yeah.
And last night they done, like, 2 workouts together, and they talk to each other as well as if they've known each other for years.
Right.
As well. So it's just nice, like,
the banter and stuff in the chat.
Yeah, and it's nice you get that with, like, we've got clients that have been with us for a while, so they kind of know each other. Like, they've known each other for, like, what, a couple of years now and stuff like that. But then even, like, new ones coming in, like, it's nice to see even them being brought in and people talking to them as if they've been with us for years as well, from the start as well. So it's nice, like, the friendships you see, people bonding and stuff like that. and over fitness as well. I think that's the thing as well. Like normally you would bond with people over like maybe going to the pubs and socialising that way, or you know, socialising at cafes or whatever, like, you know, or like kind of different things. But I think it's nice to see people socialising in a fitness environment that is
It's
maybe
totally promoting like
Yeah.
a healthy lifestyle. Like that's just an active lifestyle. That's just what they're all kind of getting to know each other for. And like even just all the running groups now, and like people are just organising individual runs with each other, and it's amazing, isn't it? Like yeah, it's been a good few months, and the next few months we've got obviously HYROX next week. We've got how many clients going? I think that must be about 80.
Yeah, between 70 and 80. And we've also got the Cassells games running as
Cassells
well,
games
which
going
is
on,
really good.
And we'll kind of chat a bit more about that in the next podcast. But yeah, it's been really an amazing first few months, and hopefully more exciting projects and things to come.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Mom, you're hurting me.
just holding you really tight
Yeah.
because. And on that note, we're gonna head up the road with these kids.
Yep, that's been a train smash.
But as always, thank you so much for listening. If you've made it to this point, thank you so much for supporting us and being a part of the family and the journey, because I hope this helps normalise the fact that it's a wee bit wild when your kids are young and you still got to just go after it, because you can do whatever you value, whatever's important to you. You can still do all of that around family life, around a career, around whatever's important to you, but still make time for being active and still make time for projects and things that are important to you. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't do it. In 10 years' time, you'd regret that you didn't do it.
Don't put your life on hold because you might only have 8 cycles left.
Oh my God, I'm never going to live that
That's just something Natalie spoke about the other day. I'm just briefly going to put this at the end here. So Natalie said to me the other night to ever think about death.
No, we'll just leave that for the next one,
which,
because
to
we're
be
going to
fair-
chat about that in the next one.
Which, to be fair, I was kind of caught off guard a wee bit with that one. But yeah, apparently we've only got 8 cycles left of life. I mean, I only turned 33 this year, but apparently I'm on the road it. But there you go.
Cherish every day. Bye-bye.